I thought that was one heck of a college basketball game, and I was thrilled to see the place was sold out. Our students turned out in large numbers. It made for an absolutely electric atmosphere. The students were engaged the whole time, and I think the fans were really treated to two great basketball teams slugging it out. Florida State did a fantastic job, did everything right in the first half. And we dug ourselves a major hold, I think down 24. And we did a lot of great things in the second half. And we had a chance with 8 seconds to go to win the ball game. And unfortunately, just missed. So I'm very, very proud of our players and, the job they did in fighting back and making this a great college basketball game.
All right, we'll go into questions now for Coach L. If you have one, please use the hand raise function and wait to be called on. We'll start with Chris Stockman inside the.
Yeah, Coach, what does this say about your team to be able to battle back and really have a shot at the end? And how much can you use this moving forward with obviously still a lot of ACC games?
Well, I just think every ACC game is like this. I know people look at rankings and standings and stuff like that, but it's January. You want to look at that stuff in March as to how good the team played for an entire season. I've said it over and over again. The regular season is not a sprint. It's a marathon. And every game is worth the same value, one win or one loss. We've played 2 great games with Florida State. We've come up short both times by 1 point. But we have a very good team. They have a very good team. And the ACC is a great league. And we play Wednesday night. And it'll be another great game.
Just to follow, what was working well in the second half, you felt like?
Well, in the first half, honestly, I think we were a little out of sync trying to run offense. We weren't. And what happened is we missed some wide open shots, which I think would have gotten us going. They were good shots, they're open shots, but we missed them. And I forget what we were at halftime, but we didn't shoot well. I think we only had 1 made 3. And when you're not making your perimeter shots, it allows Florida State just to guard the rim, which they're so good at because they're so big. So second half, we were able to do a better job. We made a couple of threes. We were able to penetrate and pitch for a couple of shots. But the most important thing was our defense, our intensity at the defensive end picked way up, and we started trapping and scrambling and forcing turnovers, which really helped us.
We'll go now to Adam Lichtenstein from the Sun Sentinel. Adam, welcome to the beat. Go ahead for Coach L.
Thanks, Alex. Kind of touched on this a second ago, Coach, but was there anything that you thought FSU was doing in the first half that kind of hampered your offense?
Well, one of the things we emphasize to our players is to penetrate and pitch. Unfortunately, when we penetrated a little too deep and then turned it over. They tied us up. It was a jump ball. We threw a bad pass. We tried to throw a lob, but it was a little too high. All those things are about execution. In the second half, we did a much better job of finding the open man. And of course, I thought Isaiah Wong got hot and was able to score a little bit more effectively.
Go now to Michelle Coffin from the Miami Herald.
Hey, Coach, I have a 2-part question. One is you talked about the defense earlier. You guys had so many steals in recent games, double-digit steals, and all the stuff you're talking about, the scrambling and the trapping. Why do you think that wasn't happening in the first half? That's my first part. The second part of the question is, even though the positive is that it's just 2 very close games, do you feel like you missed 2 opportunities there to beat FSU?
Yeah, well, of course we missed 2 opportunities. We played them twice and lost by 1 both times. And we had a chance to get a defensive stop. We didn't get it. We had a chance to make an offensive basket and didn't get it. So you always reflect back on those things. But you're talking about 2 very high-level teams and teams that are familiar with each other. The first question in the first half is if you miss shots like we did, that when you're open, the other team's defense gets a chance to just, not worry about the three. Hey, they're not making shots. So all they have to do is guard the 2-point shot. Oh, that's what made their defense so effective in the first half. We were not able to score. In the second half, we did a much better job of finding the open man. And you asked about the scramble in the first half. You're talking about a team that handled the ball extremely well. And in the second half, they quit running their offense and started just spreading us out. They didn't do any ball screens because we were trapping them. I just got to give our guys a lot of credit, because when you're down 24 points, it's
26.
very easy.
It was actually 26 at one point.
26 points.
Yeah.
And to have the ball with 8 seconds to go, being down 26 at one point, you got to be, pretty happy to be in that position and a chance to win the game.
What'd you think of Mario Cristobal's cheerleading?
I have no idea.
Oh, you
I
didn't see him?
see it.
You didn't see him hyping up the crowd on the court?
I was pretty busy, Michelle.
I know. I just thought you may have seen it.
No.
We're going out to Najee
I'm
Tobias.
happy he did that. That's great. But I'm not actually watching the fans, or I see the students, because it's a huge group that was there today and they were going crazy. So we thank them.
Go now to Najee Tobias from New Era Press.
Coach Larrañaga, one thing that really stood out, I noticed that you guys got them in foul trouble quite early in the second half. And then it wasn't too long before they actually ran out of timeouts. Could you speak to how you guys as a team were able to pull that off for Florida State to get you guys back in position to come back?
I was asked, first of all, of why we didn't force more turnovers in the first half and scramble, because when the game began, we got into immediate foul trouble. And you don't want to have guys on the court with 3 fouls at halftime. So we had to make an adjustment defensively. And Sam Wardenberg picked up an early foul. Jordan Miller picked up 2 early fouls. And that changes our strategy. In the second half, the game's a little bit shorter. And so we were able to put a little bit more pressure on them. And that worked effectively in the second half.
Last question for Coach L comes from Chris Stock.
Just what would you think of Isaiah's look at the end? What'd you think of it?
Yeah, he's very capable of making those shots. And the one thing is 8 seconds left, you're driving the length of the court, and Florida State is going to try to protect the rim and not let him get a layup. I wished he could have gotten all the way to the basket. That would have been great, but he pulled up. I mean, he's a terrific jump shooter, mid-range. And I think he got a good look.